What's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and let's talk about it. Joe Budden. I waited to make this video for a reason, and that reason is very, noticeable. That reason is being that I wanted Joe to respond because I knew that he would. For this, normally Joe don't respond. Whenever there's some issue with sin or whatever, he don't respond. And the reason why he don't respond is because he knows what he really is. Okay. Joe is not an ideal type of boyfriend. Joe Budden has always been a drug user, an abusive boyfriend in relationships. So he knows basically he's a scumbag and has enjoyed being a scumbag for the majority of his life. Now, with that being said, Joe Budden is not alone in this situation. You see, Joe targets a certain type of woman. And that woman has always been a woman that has been conflicted, a stripper, a reality show personality, all of these type of different women that Joe attracts have so much bag of damage that you're like confused. You're like utterly confused that why would you, somebody who has a career, why would you be looking for women like this? Porn stars, adult film entertainers. Why can't you find a normal person? Why aren't you looking for these qualities that you would want in a person? Why don't you have these things, Joe? You know? That's what you got to ask yourself. Why you don't have these things? Why aren't you looking for these things? See, these scenarios come to play countless times. We've seen it. Joe and Tahiry. Tahiry is super fine. I don't have to tell nobody that. She's a gorgeous girl. She's got a very thick derriere that got her to where she is. And she uses it to go from place to place. And it has carried her to getting checks from modeling something, some products, some reality shows. It has got her bedded, put in the bed of some of the best rappers and basketball personalities. Her derriere has carried her all across these lands, right? But no one tries to really wife her because underneath all that mascara is a damaged woman. Now she's coming out claiming that Joe was abusive to her throughout their relationship. All of a sudden, after all of these years, she's never said these things before. They've done countless reality show episodes together. They've even done things on his very own Joe Budden show. Now, because of that, because of that, we're in another scenario. We're in a scenario that's not quite making sense to the general public. And you might say, well, Sino, what is that? What is that scenario that we're facing right now? Well, you're facing a scenario now that doesn't quite add up. Meaning that you look at it and say, it looks pretty. It's kind of waving in my face, but I don't know if I want to touch that right now. That's where we are. Yep, good people, that's where we are in this world. Joe Budden has put himself in a position to where this can happen to him. And this is why Joe has done it. Joe put himself in this position because he has been an abusive individual in relationships. He sat on a girlfriend's stomach and caused the girlfriend to lose a baby. And he went and stayed at Tahiry's house after he did it. So Tahiry, when Joe was sleeping on your couch after doing an episode like that, to where his girlfriend at the time lost their child because he claimed he was restraining her from breaking his laptop and everything else, you didn't have a problem with taking him back in your house and letting him stay in your house. And it's funny to me that all of this is happening around where there's a new season of Love and Hip Hop. And oh, guess who else is on the show? Joe Budden. What a coincidence there. Oh, we got a new storyline. Here we go. You see, Joe was tiptoeing around this as much as he could, but still talked very slightly disrespectful of her in the situation with Votto, saying that I think this is all really for the show, and I don't think that they really have a relationship. That's quite of a bold statement. So when you keep going down the rabbit hole of doing this, Joe, it comes back to bite you. It comes back to bite you so much that you're like, why is this happening? Because you keep making bad choices. If I date strippers, I expect strippers didn't have a very good upbringing. This is why they're here, dancing for money. I'm not going to get a call girl on the streets and wonder why she's acting out at the dinner party. Look, you're embarrassing me. You're drinking too much and you cursing everybody out. You're a lie. She's a call girl. Look. Don't get people and expect them to be something that they're not. I'm not saying all strippers are like that, but the majority of the people that strip normally did so because they ran into a lot of difficulties in their lifetime and their life that put them in this position to be on the pole. They didn't say, this is a good business decision like you see it in the movies. Well, my grandma has hospital bills, so I said, nah. Some of them do, but the majority of them, drug users. Majority of them, alcoholics, and this is a quick way to make some money. And they want to show their body and don't mind showing their bodies or dancing to get it. And Joe will be right there to throw it away. Hey, I go to the strip club. Not a problem at all. Good conversations. Now, listen. You all are being taken on a ride. Once again, you're on a hip hop ride. And they're taking you through something that I don't think Joe Budden really wants to go down. Joe doesn't like his private life exposed. He's one of those guys who talks about everybody else's life, but frowns when someone wants to talk about his life or what's going on there. Then Joe Budden goes into a rage, doesn't he? Listen, I've seen this countless times. Okay, everyone has an opinion about Joe. We're not the same. I'm not mesmerized here. So Joe has a reputation of being an angry, disgruntled human being. He has a reputation and has basically spoken about being a drug addict before. He's basically done all these reality shows. He's been abusive to women before. He's had a lot of instances that did not shine brightly on him, which makes him a target. Do I think he beat Tahiry? No, I don't believe a lot of the things that she said. Do I think he probably went upside her head before or probably pushed her down? Absolutely. But I do believe that she was physically abusive to him because she's that type of person. And it does not give an okay either which way. There's no okay there. All right? There's no okay there. No man should put his hands on a woman, and no woman should put their hands on a man. So I just want to be clear on that. I just wanted to be clear on that. Because I wanted everybody to understand like what I really mean when I'm making these statements. What I really mean is that this is like what we do for a living. Like we understand we understand that people go through like in their lifetime, people go through a lot. You know, people go through a lot. So relationships have up and downs. But sometimes when things are not working out, you got to look at yourself. You got to look at yourself sometimes and say, wow, this is probably some of it's on me. Or what did I do wrong in this relationship? You know, Joe got down on one knee on a reality show to talk about marrying Tahiry. So for him to go off and start talking about that, it's like, dog, you was on a reality show and you decided that this woman was good enough to marry. You did it in the street and she rejected you. So if that's the case, if that's the case, then, you know, if she was this person, why would you even drop down to a knee to want to marry somebody like that? You understand what I'm saying? What was the purpose? What was the purpose? I don't get it. You know, so that's what I mean. When I start talking about, you know, all the people who participated and did all these different things as far as reality show and all this stuff, you basically proven that the reality show is BS and you're doing it for the check. Now, if you show up on the reality show with her on the reality show, both of y'all basically getting paid by the same company, so we understand what the storyline is. You're not going to like it, and you're probably not going to want to play along and going to want to blow it up. But it didn't stop you when it was her and Votto, did it? You went down the line basically claiming that their relationship was fake and that they were doing it probably for TV. So when you did that, you basically opened Pandora's box for her to say, okay, well, now let me bring in Joe. So yes, do I think she's an empty woman? Do I think she's a liar? Yes, I think she's a liar, but all of you are basically liars. So reality TV is a lie. So all of you have been lying. That's all you do. Now me, I'm one of the people on the outside looking in. But I waited to hear Joe's response because on this one I knew he would. Because he knows he didn't do what she was saying he did. Some of the stuff he did probably. But he wasn't going to talk about what he did. He was going to talk about what he didn't do. Feel me? So if you know Joe, then you know how this is going to go. You know how this is going to play out. This is Joe Budden. This is what Joe Budden does. We all know it. So what we have to figure out is, are we going to be stuck in this same mode for the rest of our lives where we continuously go down the road of following old Joe and Tahiry and following behind the nonsense, or just cut the cord on it and move on? Because all of this stuff reality shows do is highlight the worst qualities of people. It's not a show to highlight the positivity. It's always the negative. They have a reunion show so people can argue and fight. It's sad. But anyway, man, I'm going to get up out of here. Don't forget to hit the like button to this video. Let them know that you exist. If you want to support my page, my name is Carceno, Karceno. And don't forget the Patreon is Carceno. We will be going deeper on this subject in the Patreon. Here we can't really do that. So we can do that later. Be quite entertaining there. We have an uncut Patreon live stream that went down that everybody on there was speaking very freely. You'll enjoy that, I believe. So On that note, be blessed. I'm out. Good night.